Several of you have asked me to please share my updated morning and evening skincare routine. And while I'm of course happy to do so, I'm always a bit hesitant to do so since I test so many different products. So my skincare routine, aside from some staples such as Retinoid, varies quite a bit. However, there are a few products I have been using for several months now and absolutely loving, and I will share those with you today. The first three are from a small woman-owned brand called Retinoid, a Korean skincare-inspired indie brand owned by two friends with a shared passion for great skincare. Right now, Retinoid only has 4 products, and I actually use all 4 of them. But 3 of them I absolutely love. Let's start in the order I use them. The first one is the Water Lily pH Balanced Gentle Cleanser. This is a beautiful, very gentle, yet very effective cleanser I have been using morning and night. It is a gel cleanser, but unlike most gel cleansers I've ever used, this is not the slightest bit drying or stripping. It does have a bit of a sticky consistency, which is due to the glycerin it contains. And of course we know glycerin can be quite hydrating and soothing. On top of glycerin, it also contains soybean seed extract and lily flower extract. I really like this sticky consistency because, again, not only is it due to the glycerin, which is hydrating and soothing, but it almost feels a bit grippy. So when I massage this into my skin, it feels as if the cleanser just holds on or grips on to the dirt and grime and washes it off. But again, it does so without drying or stripping my skin. This is a beautiful cleanser. The only thing, it does contain a bit of fragrance, which doesn't bother me or my skin at the slightest. And it's hard to describe. I want to say maybe lavender, and I'm not the biggest fan of lavender. I really usually don't like lavender scented products, but this is actually a lovely fragrance, and again, it doesn't bother me or my skin at all. But if you are sensitive to fragrance, know that this does contain a bit of fragrance. But again, a beautiful cleanser. I have been using it morning and night, and I'm actually on my second container. The second product from Retinoid I have been loving is their Essence. This is the Microbiome and Vitamin C Immunity Support Essence. Now, I am usually not an essence user. I actually have probably 10 different essences in my bathroom, which I have been sent, and I don't use any of them. But this one, as you can see, I'm definitely using, and the reason I am using and loving this morning and night is that, first of all, it feels incredibly soothing and hydrating. But secondly, the ingredient deck is quite impressive. It, like the cleanser, contains glycerin, but it also contains micrococcus lysate, which is a powerful DNA repair enzyme, magnesium ascorbyl phosphate, which is a gentle form of vitamin C, thermophilus ferment, a compound from bacteria, which can be quite beneficial for our skin microbiome, sodium hyaluronate, and the list of beautiful ingredients goes on. This is a gorgeous essence, and like I said, I'm definitely using it morning and night. In fact, I already have a backup right here. Now, this, just like the cleanser, does contain a slight fragrance. However, this just smells fresh to me, sort of lemony. And again, the fragrance doesn't bother me or my skin at all. But if you are sensitive to fragrance, know that this as well contains a bit of fragrance. And then the third and my absolute favorite product from Retinoid is the Bakuchiol and niacinamide anti-aging cream. This kept popping up on my Instagram, which is how I got curious about Retinoid in the first place. So this kept popping up on my Instagram. Everybody raved about it, and I thought, let me give it a try. I'm on my second container, and I have a backup right here already because I don't want to run out of this. This is absolutely gorgeous. It is somewhat thick, which I actually really love, especially for nighttime. But even though it is somewhat thick, it sinks in beautifully, without leaving a greasy residue. Now at night, what I will often do with this is I will apply it quite liberally, almost like a mask. So I might apply about this much on my face and neck and just let it sink in. And in the morning, my skin is just so happy, healthy, and hydrated looking. Now this, as the name suggests, contains Bakuchiol, which is a botanical many refer to as a retinoid alternative. And studies do show that Bakuchiol effectively improves signs of aging like wrinkles, fine lines, and pigmentation, working similarly to retinoids, but without the possible irritation which often comes along with retinoid use. And then on top of Bakuchiol, this also contains 2% niacinamide, and niacinamide can strengthen the skin's barrier, boost ceramide production, and reduce redness. And talking about ceramides, this also contains 5 different ceramides and 7 different seaweed extracts. This is gorgeous. I have been using it nightly. Like I said, I'm on my 2nd container and I already have a backup. But some of you might wonder, Claudia, don't you use tretinoin or retinoic acid? And yes, I do. And as I just mentioned, Bakuchiol, which this actually contains 0.5% Bakuchiol. Bakuchiol is often referred to as a retinoid alternative. But tretinoin and Bakuchiol can actually work synergetically or have complementary actions, since Bakuchiol can not only help boost tretinoin's effectiveness, but Bakuchiol also has anti-inflammatory properties. So it can help soothe any inflammation caused by retinoic acid. I have been combining my tretinoin and the Bakuchiol anti-aging cream nightly for the past, I want to say, at least 2 months, if not longer, without any irritation. However, if you have sensitive skin, you might want to use Bakuchiol, products containing Bakuchiol, such as this, and tretinoin on alternate nights until your skin gets accustomed. Again, a beautiful moisturizer. Will definitely repurchase, already have. But again, like the other Vigelica products, this does contain a slight fragrance. And again, I would say it slightly smells of lavender. It smells very similarly to the cleanser. Again, while I'm not the biggest fan of lavender scented products, the scent in here doesn't bother me or my skin at all. But if you are sensitive to fragrance, know that all the Vigelica products do contain a bit of fragrance. And talking about retinoids, I have been using and loving the Prequel retinol. Prequel not too long ago came out with a retinaldehyde, and they have 2 different strengths, 0.1 and 0.2%. I went straight to the 0.2%, and I have been using this nightly on my neck. Now, while I love my tretinoin and while it has done wonders for my skin, unfortunately my neck doesn't love tretinoin at all. I have tried over and over to use it regularly on my neck, and I have just given up. Because every time I do, my neck just gets so irritated and itchy and just unhappy. And as you can see, my neck is always a bit red to begin with. It's just old sun damage. But when I continue to use tretinoin on my neck, it gets worse. So I finally gave up, and I thought, let me give retinaldehyde a try. Now, for those of you who don't know, retinaldehyde is 1 conversion away from retinoic acid or tretinoin. So therefore, retinaldehyde is not quite as powerful as retinoic acid, but it is also not as irritating as retinoic acid. And in fact, out of the retinoids I have personally tried, including retinol, I find retinaldehyde to be the least irritating. I have tried using retinol on my neck on a regular basis, and even that irritated my neck. However, the Prequel 0.2% retinaldehyde I have been using on my neck now for, you can see I've used quite a bit because I only use this on my neck. So I have been using this for at least a month now, if not longer, every night without any irritation. And I'm hoping using this long term, I will get the same results I've gotten on my face from using retinoic acid. This is a beautiful formulation. It does have a yellow tint, which shows you that it is a retinoid. It does say it's a gel, but I don't really feel that this feels like a gel. To me, it just feels like a very thin lotion. It sinks in beautifully, and once it is completely sunken in, the yellow tint disappears. It's beautiful. I already have a backup of this as well, because I am so excited that I can finally use a retinoid on my neck. Now, as far as the ingredient deck, on top of the 0.1 or 0.2% retinaldehyde, this also contains glycerin, jojoba, rice bran extract, sodium hyaluronate, and some other beautiful soothing and hydrating ingredients. So again, this is beautiful. Will definitely repurchase, actually already have. And then I also have been loving, I haven't been using this as long as these products I just shared with you, but I have been loving the new Dieu Skin Mercy Recovery Cream. Now this I don't use as frequently as the Regelica Anti-Aging Cream, which is nightly. This I use when my skin is irritated, which since using this, it hardly ever is, or after medical microneedling. Not right after, but the next day and the days to follow. Because this is incredibly soothing. It contains 1% colloidal oatmeal, which can be very soothing and healing. It also contains a 3%, as they call it, soothing complex containing panthenol and elatonin, 10% glycerin, and 0.1% licorice root extract, a potent antioxidant. I'm sorry, Beanie's in my lap, and I had to refilm this last part probably 10 times because there's another dog outside and she's not happy about it. So she's kind of grumbling in my lap. That's why I'm laughing. But anyways, this is a beautiful moisturizer. And like I said, I use it when my skin is either irritated, which again, since using this, it hardly ever is, or after medical microneedling. Not right after, but the days to follow. It has a, she keeps on grumbling, it has a beautiful, almost luxurious feeling consistency. It's very creamy, yet not greasy at all, but very creamy and rich. And what I will do with this one as well, especially when I use it days after medical microneedling, when my skin is usually quite dry from the transepidermal water loss, I will, just like with the Regelica cream, apply this quite liberally to my skin at night, like a mask, and let it sink in. So beautiful moisturizer if you have sensitive, reactive skin, if you're looking for something soothing to use. Like I said, I wouldn't use it right after medical microneedling, but I use it for the days after. I can highly recommend this. And then let's see. I think that's it with skincare. I did bring the fourth Regelica product out here, which I also love, but just not use as frequently as the other three products. But this is their renewal serum, and it contains edelweiss, which is a powerful antioxidant, and mandelic acid, a gentle exfoliant. And this little one wants the lotion, but this is also beautiful. I am not, however, using it daily because, again, Beanie, you gotta stop. Because, again, I am testing so many different products. So currently I'm using this every third day, and then on the alternate days, I'm trying other products. But this is a beautiful, I don't know if I can show you, this is a beautiful serum, and I am really enjoying using it. But I can't really tell you yet that I'm loving it because I'm not using it as frequently as the other three Regelica products. But if you're curious about the brand, I have absolutely been loving it, and I have talked to one of the owners, Regina. She is lovely, and they were kind enough to give us a discount code, which I will link down below. However, I purchased all of these products, even the backup, with my own money, and that's how much I love these products. But now I can use my own discount code. But anyways, if you're curious about the brand and you want to try all four products, I can highly recommend this. I have had zero irritation with it. My skin really seems to like it. It gives me a nice glow. but I just haven't been using it as frequently as the other Vitilica products. And then let's talk about hair care. For the past, I would say probably 5 years now, I used Haircare shampoo and conditioner, which I still love. However, the water quality here in San Diego is not the greatest. And this one is getting antsy. And while I have a shower filter, somehow the water quality here combined with the Haircare shampoo and conditioner didn't do anything for my hair. It just became sort of dry and brittle. So she's looking out the window. So I have been looking for a different shampoo and conditioner for quite a while. And I tried different ones, but I didn't really like them. Until recently, when I tried the Corpus shampoo and conditioner. Now, I talked about in my last What I'm Loving video about how much I love the Corpus body balm and green deodorant. And since I love both of those products so much, I wanted to try their shower gel, which I also love, as well as their shampoo and conditioner. And I have to say, I was quite skeptical at first, because while I love the Corpus body products, they are not necessarily a hair brand or hair care brand. So I was quite skeptical about the shampoo and conditioner. However, this one is getting so antsy. However, I love both of them. First of all, the smell is delicious. It says it smells like cypress. It just smells fresh and clean. But not only is the scent delicious, the shampoo is of course sodium lauryl sulfate free as well as cruelty free. And as far as ingredients, it contains hydrolyzed rice protein, vegan squalene, and some other beautiful ingredients. It does a great job cleansing my hair without stripping it and without irritating my scalp. And then the conditioner has the same scent as the shampoo. And as far as ingredients, it contains some beautiful humectants such as glycerin, panthenol, and hyaluronic acid, some emollients and oils such as coconut oil, argan oil, shea butter, and jojoba oil. And of course, it has some conditioning agents. This I am really impressed by, even more so than the shampoo, because I have had the hardest time finding a conditioner which makes my hair look nice and healthy and shiny, but doesn't weigh it down and makes it look limp and lifeless. This is beautiful. I am actually amazed when I apply this to my wet hair after cleansing it with the shampoo, how easily I can comb through my hair with my fingers. That hardly ever happens when I wash my hair, because my hair tangles very easily, especially when I wash it. So usually I have to apply heaps of conditioner and then very carefully from the bottom up, inch by inch, comb through my hair until I can finally run my fingers all the way through. But with this, I don't even need a whole bunch. As soon as I apply it to my hair, I can run my fingers through it. So this does a beautiful job conditioning my hair, making it smell delicious without weighing it down or making it look lifeless. I used both of these this morning and then just let my hair air dry, which I always do. I have nothing in my hair, but you can see it looks nice and clean and healthy, but it has some life and volume to it. So these two, like I said, I wasn't expecting much at all, but I was positively surprised, and I am loving both of these now. This is my backup. I have 2 bottles in the shower, which are almost empty, and I will definitely continue to repurchase both of these. And then I had a few more things in front of me I wanted to share with you, but Bean is getting really antsy and I think I have to take her out. I'm sorry about that. But very briefly, Ziip Halo just came out with a new and improved version of the Ziip Halo, the Ziip Halo 2.0. Now, according to the company, some of the changes made to the Ziip Halo 0.2 is that it has stronger, more precise currents. It also has a little flap right here, which protects it from conductive gel going inside the device. Aside from that, to me, I haven't used it too long, to be honest. I've only been using this for about 2 weeks, but I loved my Ziip Halo, used it for a couple of years, saw great results with it, and I'm sure I will love the 2.0 just as much. But I will keep you posted on this one, and I will talk about the other things I wanted to share with you in another video as well. This little one needs to go outside. Thank you so much for being here. I would love to know, what have you been enjoying over the last few weeks or months? Anything that has made your life a bit better, please share down below. Any questions or comments, of course, please share them down below. Always love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being here. Until next time, of course, everything I'm talking about will be listed and linked down below in the info box. And if I happen to have a discount code, I will also link that down below. And thank you for being here. Until next time, bye.